Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm working on some unusual stuff again. I'm working on the super dungeon content that I said I want to go in further. This time I basically worked on the first draft of the figure that I had. First thing is I noticed that the figure is not very symmetrical, so I had to redo most parts of this. Basically here I'm just expanding a bit and then I had to just realize that I had to cut down a lot of it and rebuild the base shape, which is fully symmetrical now, which makes for an easier workflow if modeling on the figure. The figure is very stylized. This is due to the original content that this is taken from. I've played the Super Dungeon game. I'm playing the board game every now and then whenever I have time and find people to play with me. And yeah, I want to make some content. There's other people who also make content for the game, who still bring out stuff, but I also want to have some content that I specifically want to explore, want to play, want to see, so I have to just make sure that I do that. As you can see, right now I'm working on the hand. I'm very happy with how most of this model turned out. It is, even though it is stylized, the whole thing is a chibi thing. It is relatively proportional for that, so I'm really happy with how this turned out in the end. One thing that I have to take care of is the shape of the upper torso. The chest area is something that I'm still not completely down with. You will see that when I get to it. Another part is the head, of course, which is always a bit of a challenge. You can see that the head is very special right now. For one, there is no texture on it, so that is also diminishing some of it, but there's also other things that I just have to model better, where I have to take more care of. Yeah, the main model building wasn't that complicated. The base shape of the model is actually not that hard to make. I'm even less stylish than the original thing, I guess, because in the original figures, the arms and legs are relatively average on size. They do not fluctuate so hard, so they basically don't have expressed joints or expressed muscles, which I am going for at least a little bit. But yeah, one issue was actually just shaping the head, making it big enough so that it would actually fit the chibi aesthetic. Another thing was just fixing the nose, putting in the nose and the eyes. I'm relatively happy with how the eyes turned out. This is kind of where I wanted to go. I also, in the end, want to be able to have the figure blink, but I'm not 100% sure if I can actually do that or not. So yeah, I spent a lot of time trying to trying to sculpt the head. The whole model is relatively low poly, so I'm trying to get away from that. My whole base idea was to get a very low poly model, but this isn't really where I can go with this, because this is relatively detailed, so I still have to go and make some exceptions for that. Yeah, as I'm currently forming the eye, putting in the eye, one thing that I did make is I made a first draft for the eye as a texture. So you can see that I'm working on the UV map here, and I'm actually exporting the UV map so I can put on a texture for this, just so I can see how it works. You see the texture on the side, and it is still something I have to work on, but something that took way more time was, as you can see, the chest area, the breasts of the character. I wanted this to be the female one, so I'm really just going on how to do that, how to model that, and it's a lot harder than you would think, a lot harder than I definitely thought. I took a lot of different approaches here, a lot of different ways to try to fix it, and even though I now have even though I am currently having a model, I still have to redo a lot of that. So there's not that I'm not finished with that area at all. Like, also not with the head. You can see that I'm adding the ears right now, which also took a lot of time, or more time than expected. But at least I got this to a point where I'm okay with what I got. Yeah, this took multiple attempts, obviously. Could have had the chance of just reloading the whole thing and just be like, okay, I'm reloading, I'm trying this again. I just said, okay, I'm simply going to delete what I made, weld the points together, and go on again. Yeah, but yeah, the goal for this time is not to have a finished model, but rather have a better draft than before that I can then iterate on. Speaking on goals for the intermediate time, this is a project I want to do in the next few weeks and month. The whole thing, I want to have a fully fledged expansion at some point with enemy models, with maybe 1 or 2 character models. I don't know yet. I'm not 100% sure if I want to have own character models or just enemy models. I want to have some boards, so some board tiles, so we will see some Dungeon Alchemist again for that. But yeah, main thing will be modeling the 3D figures. One thing I haven't thought about yet is if I'm gonna play another game in the meantime. I don't think I will do that so quickly, but yeah. Anyway, you can see that a lot of time, actually like 1/3 of the time, was just spent with trying to fix the chest area, and I'm still not really somewhere I think I'm correct. The in-game, so the actual models in the game have a very different shape. I think I am still thinking about a way to get a better look at these models than the game provides, which is something I haven't looked into yet. But yeah, something that is on my mind, just to have an idea of how the figures are shaped, so I can take advantage of that idea. With that said, we're almost at the end of the video, or we're getting close to the end of the video. The last part of the video is dedicated to Gimp and to making the texture for the eyes. So this is where I basically left the model, and then I sat down and just tried to model the eyes a bit better. What I did is I extracted I copied the UV map, as you can see. I'm using made a pass of the UV map so I could scale it better, and right there I'm just trying to paint it. It's a very simple paint. It's not really that complex or that big. And one thing I did one thing I should have done better is scale the eye better. So the iris, as I'm drawing it right now, is very, very big. It is way too large. takes too much space in the whole thing. So I definitely have to redraw that part. But yeah. Overall, I think this was a very interesting experiment to do, a very interesting way to go from here on out, because I want to, yeah, go into a specific direction with my content, at least in some way. So yeah, we'll see what comes of it, and if I ever will have a finished product. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions, ideas, or feedback, tell me in the comments, and I hope I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you guys around.